Hey,
Hello, hello. We're back. Welcome. Welcome to Real Women, Real Talk. I am Trenace Richardson, and I am the founder of Real Women. And I am joined by my sister and business partner in so many wonderful ways. Who are you, ma'am?
I am the Shavon Carter, one of the facilitators for Real Women.
Yes, you are. And we have so many individual things that we have going on. Please feel free to check us out on the social medias uh, individually. But we are here in the context of Real Women Rock. And we are so proud and elated to be connected. Real Women exist to create safe spaces for women to do personal development work, soul work on themselves. We believe that you have everything you need in you. And we want to help bring that thing out. so, so this is the process by which we do it. We host virtual and in-person sister circles. We host intensives, and we have an intensive coming up. The information is on our website, realwomenrock.org, on the events tab. We want you to go there and check it out. But when we host these gatherings, it really is for us to connect in a meaningful way and to grow our confidence in who we are and who we are created to be. And we want that for you. So we have extended our sister circle out to you in this moment to give you a sneak peek in the types of conversations that we have in Real Women. And so if this intrigues you, please come back again, invite someone else to the podcast. We would love for you to help us continue to grow this audience. And if you'd like to visit us at one of our in-person or virtual sister circles, please go to the website. We have almost every Saturday, there's something happening that you can be a part of. No matter where you live in the world, there's at least one virtual sister circle that you can connect with. So check us out. Our goal is to get to you in person, live and in color, in sister circles. But until then, enjoy this podcast. Hey, girl.
Hey,
It is so good to be here with you as we get into another episode. We are in episode 32. We growing.
yes, we are. Yes, we are. I'm
So
so proud of us.
we are doing it. So our first segment is Real Talk, and just wanted to check in with you, sister, and you all. Real Talk, how you doing?
I am doing good. So I had the pleasure last week of going on travel with my job
Hmm.
back home. So I went to Florida. We actually had some work there where I'm from. And so to be able to spend a whole week in my hometown on work travel was
Wow.
really cool. So
Yeah.
I got to spend time with my family. I got to see my mom every day, which is really great because usually when I go home, it's a really quick turnaround. Like I'm there on a Friday, I come back on a Sunday. So
Mhm.
I don't usually get to spend a whole lot of time. So I'm just feeling good and it just makes me miss my family, a little bit.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was really nice to see them.
Did it make you want to move back home?
It honestly did. Yeah.
Oh,
For the
yes.
first time, I was thinking about, I wonder, so that's been in the back of my mind. So it
Oh,
made
that's so
me
cool. Oh, that's
think.
heartwarming. I was expecting you to say, mm-mm.
And usually that's what I say, but it was something about that trip that was like,
Yeah,
man, maybe I should consider that, maybe in the next few years or so, just put that on the list as maybe something that I work towards. So we'll see.
that's beautiful. That's
Mhm.
beautiful. I love that you got to do a both and there, to be home
Yeah.
and to be generating income and productive
Mhm.
and all of that. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
It was
I
good.
It's so funny that it sounds grounding what you just
Mhm.
shared. I've been in a season of getting ready to purge.
Mm.
And so for those who have been connected with me for a while, many times, at least once or twice a year, I invite those who are connected to me or exposed to me on social media to a purge experience for 21 days
Mm-hmm.
where we just clear out our physical and spiritual and emotional spaces.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been feeling it coming, and it's something that I go through naturally. It's not just a ploy or a publicity or marketing thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, even though I haven't chosen to do it in the last 6, 12 months or so, I'm feeling it now. So
Yeah.
trying to decide, I think I'm just going to keep this one for me.
Okay.
And I'm planning a yard sale, girl. Like, I just want to
Nice.
get rid of some stuff and get rid of some stuff.
Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. So that's where I am right now.
Okay.
So we would like to know where you all are, real talk. And I mean, when we say real talk, we want to know how you really doing, what's really
Mm-hmm.
going on.
Yep.
So if you would like to share that with us, please feel free to go to speakpipe.com/ real women, real talk. We would love for you to share with us how you doing. Just share with us anything you want to share. Don't have to share your name. If it cuts off on you, pick it right back up again and keep the story going, or continue to share. We would love to hear from you. Okay, sister, I have a
Uh-huh.
whole nother real talk for you. This is about to be good, good. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm ready.
We about to have a good time this episode. I should have said that from the beginning. But tell your friends to go in about 6, 7 minutes if they want the good good. All right. So real talk.
Okay.
Is it the size of the boat or the motion of the ocean for you?
And it's what I'm thinking about what you think about.
You
Uh,
it's exactly. I'm not talking about going sailing. Mm-mm.
right. Okay, got
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
So the motion of the ocean don't matter if the size ain't sizing. So I absolutely believe that it's the size of the boat that matters to me.
Okay. Okay.
Now, it doesn't have to be a big vessel,
Mhm.
too big of a vessel. Let me say that.
Okay.
I think I would love a medium-sized vessel to
Okay.
where I can experience the motion in the ocean. Because if it's too small, then I won't know that there's any motion.
Mhm.
So I need a medium size so that I know that it's moving and it's doing what it came to do. And yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And if it's too large, then I wouldn't enjoy it. It wouldn't be as enjoyable. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So if it's a cruise ship, you might
Mm-hmm.
you might injure something.
Absolutely. Yes.
And
Yes.
and then if it's a rowboat, you might not
Mhm.
know it's there. Is
I
that what
might
I
not
hear you
know it's
saying?
there. Yep, you
Mhm.
just rowing with all your might, and I just be like, "Oh, okay, okay." Did we start yet? No? Okay.
We didn't start yet. Okay.
What about for you, sister? What
Girlfriend, I'm so serious, and just I can only speak for me, but
okay,
it is because size of the boat does matter, right? It
okay.
does matter. But I've never had an issue with size of the boat. I've I've always appreciated motion of the ocean. I have appreciated,
Oh,
yes, I have
okay.
and because, I haven't experienced the rowboat, so I don't know what
Mhm,
that feels like. But
mhm.
motion of the ocean is very important to me. Very.
Is it? What is it about
Yes.
the motion of the
Yes.
ocean
I
that
I don't want to be on a pond or
Hmm,
um a quiet lake.
okay,
um, I also don't want tumultuous thunderstorm weather. Like,
okay,
I really want beach waves. I want beach
okay.
waves. You know what I'm
Mhm,
saying? And
mhm.
I want fluid, moving, continual beach waves that
Okay.
build and then back it up and build. And
Mhm,
so that's important to me.
mhm.
Because I feel like there's some boats that just go right into the pier, and they
Oh,
just
God.
they just go straight into the pier instead of
Yeah,
figuring out how to get into the pier and making it
yeah,
work, and that's just disrespectful, I think.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
especially if it's a speedboat. Yeah, and they
Oh
just
my gosh. Right.
it's just yeah, it's wait a minute now.
Right.
Why are you
Like,
so in a hurry to get to the other side
right.
of the dock? Like,
Slow the
what?
mileage, like it slow it down. So
Right.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Was that not the most professional way? Was that not the cutest way?
The
Listen,
cutest way, right.
listen. I know what I'm doing. Not to
Yes.
be raunchy, but to still be raunchy. I know what I'm doing.
I love it. I am here for it. Yes, I love it.
Okay, so we want to hear from y'all. Listen, we want to know how you're doing, real talk, but we also want to know whether it's the size of the boat or the motion in the ocean for you. We want to know what your preference is. You don't got to leave your name. Just tell us so that we can do a little tally. We would love to hear from you.
A little poll to see what people, like.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
We call real talk for a reason, ma'am,
Yes.
sir. Thank you. So, so we would love to hear from you. Speakpipe.com/real women real talk. Okay.
Mhm.
So, sister, that was just to ease us into a deep dive.
Okay.
So, so our second segment, y'all, in case you don't know, I don't even know if I said it. That first segment was called Real Talk. And we just check in with you, see how you're doing and get us jump started. And so our second segment is deep dive. And with deep dive, we literally want to make sure that we spend time and hold space with each other to talk about things that matter to us. And so I thought that first opening real talk question would be a wonderful way to bring us into this conversation because I want to talk about, if I had to give it sort of a topic or a theme, it would either be size matters or big things come in small packages. Now, if you decide to use this as a snippet for one of these little things that you put on social media, y'all gonna have to come back and listen to figure out what we're talking about. Stop it right here, Shavon.
Oh my God.
Okay, okay, but so as much as this sounds like I'm about to get even raunchier, than the real women talk question, real women real talk question, I'm not. I want to talk about the importance of smaller. I don't think we give enough credence to small in
Yes.
general. We tend to think bigger is better in general, right? We often hear that conversely, the more expensive gifts are in the smaller packages, but we tend to get really excited about big and bodacious and all of that.
Mhm.
I have experienced just as much, if not more, power in small than I have big and bodacious. So I
Mhm.
really just want to talk about the power of small
Mhm.
and just see if we can dig into it a little bit. So I want to give some context because I know I'm taking us. We doing a left.
Yeah.
We doing a pivot here. But the first example I'll give, if you've been listening to the podcast, you know I'm a church girl. Is church related. In that context, I have been more moved in smaller churches oftentimes than in mega churches, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Smaller churches invite connection and community in an easier way. Um, and in fact, biblically, the original churches were done in homes or in small groups. So small for me, not for everybody. And I've experienced both and some in the middle. So
Mhm.
I've had positive experiences in every size church, and I've had negative experiences in every size church. But when I look at the totality of my experience, I can say that small has been just as, if not more powerful for me than big.
Mhm.
There was nothing taken away from it just because of the size, right?
Mm. Mhm.
Similarly, we have experienced in Real Women that small gatherings are oftentimes more powerful than larger ones because those who would not normally attend or not normally connect or not normally speak up, they are willing to do so more readily in a smaller setting. You've
Mhm.
probably experienced at work at some point, maybe, you know, the quiet people, but then you get them one-on-one, or you get them in a small group conversation, and they're more readily to speak up and speak out, because smaller
Mhm.
for some is more safe and comfortable. And people even say that, it's better to grow in circles than in rows. And so
Mhm.
circles kind of denote, we can see each other, we're in a smaller setting where we can talk to each other, instead of us looking out in a bunch of rows just hearing one person share. So I have had overall good experiences in smaller settings, and I had to, at some point, resolve that for myself, because I wanted, I'll put a past tense on it. Um, and I'm still in the process of this. I am still in the process of working on this. I wanted bigger audiences and
Mhm.
bigger platforms and bigger this and bigger that, right?
Mhm.
And so for me, I'm even looking at tiny homes now, and
Yeah.
like I really appreciate the what smaller can give. So that's
Mm.
my context. And
Mhm.
my question is, what are your thoughts about smaller things or smaller
Mhm.
experiences? Have they been more powerful for you or not? Just your thoughts.
Yeah. So I am a huge fan of smaller experiences.
Mm,
When you mentioned the example about the church, I remember my last church was one that it had thousands of members,
mhm,
but we also had what we call small group Bible studies.
mhm,
And I was a small group facilitator, and I just saw how even in a large church, it was so important to have those small group meetings to where you can still connect with each other. It was probably about 10, no more than 15 women, and we would meet in my home in a circle,
mhm,
and it allowed us to really get to know each other. And there were several small group leaders, within the church, so that even in the midst of a big church, one person could still feel connected, to
mhm,
the church members. So I believe that, yeah, my thinking is that small is what I prefer.
mhm,
Is better to me, because you really get to connect with other people on a more intimate level. Whereas in a larger group, someone may desire to say something but may feel shy. They may be introverted. They may
mhm,
feel like if I speak up, I'll be judged, or maybe someone else says it better. So it's a lot of comparison that may go on
mhm.
in a larger setting. So I just think, for me, I thrive better in smaller groups.
Yeah. I even think about concerts or being able to enjoy um, entertainment. Like, I
Mhm.
like the bigger the audience, it's exciting and all that to go to the big arenas. I'm not a
Mhm.
big fan of it. I will go for who I want to listen to. We've
Yeah.
talked about that in previous episodes, but I love the smaller venues where you could, if you wanted to, touch the person,
Yeah.
they get to see you, you get to see them. Intimate
Mhm.
settings like that really make it more meaningful for me.
Mhm.
And so not only do I want to know that, I'm wondering if so there's this opportunity to appreciate smaller,
Mhm.
because we in society, we are driven, I think, directed, geared toward bigger.
Yeah.
Um, and so I think it's counterintuitive and goes against the grain to just say, I like smaller.
Mhm.
And I think that's coming around. Like I said, I like tiny homes. That's becoming a thing now for a lot of people. And so, in some ways, shapes, and forms, I think that that mindset might be shifting.
Mhm.
But for those of us who still have a little bit of this bigger is better
Mhm.
mentality,
Mhm.
how do we navigate um, larger spaces when it can be easier to disappear or shrink back or not show up, or we can get lost in the sauce? Like, I think it's great for me to want to have, a bigger experience. But
Mhm.
there's all of the bigger challenges that you just talked about, right? I got more
Mhm.
people to consider, more people to think about, more people to connect with, more people to get lost among. So
Mhm.
how do we navigate the times when we have to get in larger spaces?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, how do you deal with larger spaces when maybe you prefer smaller spaces, as you said?
Yeah. I think with larger spaces, it opens you up to more criticism, more opinions, more. I guess that's how I think about it. However, if I were, let's say, if I were speaking at a conference or something that had, 1,000 people or 5,000 people there,
Mhm.
I think my focus would be on my purpose for being there. So
Mm,
I would just focus on if I were one of the panel members. So I would just be intentional about, okay, what purpose am I here to serve? What message do I want to share
mhm,
um, with these individuals? If I were just attending a conference and I wasn't a part, it would be how can I connect with someone maybe at my table?
mhm,
So I would still be looking for that intimacy in the midst of a larger space if I were just an attendee. And it would just be trying to see how I can not stand out because that's not usually what I'm looking to do in large spaces, but how can I be intentional about making connections, or if a question is raised and I feel some compelled to say something, then go to the mic and say something.
mhm,
So
mhm,
for me, it's all about intention and just being purposeful and not getting overwhelmed by the crowd or the people. So that's what I would say about how to
yeah,
navigate through those large
yeah.
spaces.
I love that focus on the purpose, the intention of why you're there or
Yeah.
what you are there to do or
Mhm.
accomplish. What is the goal, the end goal for me being in this experience,
Mhm.
and then gain something from it by approaching it that way. I love that. I'm also thinking about um when I know, because we're all over the place, depending upon which ones of us we're talking to out here in
Mhm.
our extended sister circle right now. So there are some of us who don't like large groupings at all. We don't want any parts of them, or we appreciate smaller settings. But we know some of us, we are called to be in larger spaces at different points in times, either
Mhm.
professionally, like you said, speaking somewhere, or being able to stand out in a field, in a
Mhm.
profession where there are tons of folks.
Mhm.
I think I mentioned in the last episode that I went to a conference, and I've done a lot of those. And one of my strategies to pushing myself within a large setting
Mhm.
to and I did think of the word stand out, even though you used it, on the other flip side. I think sometimes professionally we are hesitant to want to stand out,
Mhm.
and a good way to do that in a large setting is to do exactly what you just said. Make sure that you stand up to ask an intelligent question or
Mhm.
make a statement during a Q&A. Um, and to provide some input that would contribute to the conversation.
Mhm.
Because many of us will dim our light for the sake of, being afraid to
Mhm.
say something in a larger space. So
Mhm.
I like smaller spaces. I'm speaking about me. I like smaller spaces. I like smaller experiences, but I know I want to excel and stand out in certain fields, and that
Mhm.
might put me in bigger, larger settings. And so I have to work through all of my angst about that to do something that would allow me to stand out. And I think there's some friction there, but the- but I need to be willing to do it.
That makes me think about the
What?
social media space.
Mm,
So, a smaller following versus millions of followers, right?
wow.
So, A smaller following, you don't have so many eyes on you. It's usually those who you are closely connected to, who get you, who understand you, your tribe, who
Mhm.
can receive from you and or appreciate what you're doing. And the larger the platform grows, the more eyes you have, the more opinions you have, the more comments you have, and that
Mhm.
opens the door to a lot of other things that a smaller venue or a smaller platform you don't have to deal with. So,
Mhm.
but it's like you said, if you want to grow, if you want to grow on social media, if that is your desire, then it's understanding that in order to reach more people, it requires, being more open and being on bigger platforms. And no matter what that comes with, staying focused on, okay, what is the purpose of, let's say, this podcast? What is our intention? What are we striving to do? And even though millions of eyes are on us and people may say whatever, we're still meeting the mission of, what we intended to do. So, yeah.
That is so good. It made me so good. It made me think about performers or speakers or even
Hmm.
preachers that will tell you, I sing like this, I speak
Hmm.
like this, I preach like this if there are 10 people in the audience or if
Yeah.
there are 10,000 people in the audience. I'm going
Yes.
to give it my all no matter what. So I
Yeah.
love that mentality because what that says is not on, I'm focused on what I'm supposed to be doing here and why I'm
Hmm.
here. And then the audience can, will benefit from that no matter how many there are. But
Hmm.
I also want to honor what you started with because there is so much value in being able to grow in a smaller setting and with a smaller group of people, even on social media, um, because you don't have the level of criticism, as you
Yeah.
said. It may still happen, but it's not as on that level when it's not
Hmm.
as large a group.
Hmm.
Um, and so that smaller community allows you to pour in. If you are the pourer, it
Hmm.
allows you to pour in a more substantive way. One
Yeah.
of my I have some mantras that are important to me, and I have many more of them, but these two are on my bathroom mirror on index cards. One of them is I come from light, I am light, I won't dim my light, because it
Hmm.
constantly reminds me to shine brightly and to speak up and stand out. But then the other one is I am changing the world one woman at a time, one circle at a time.
That's
And
so good.
And listen, I had to, and I'm because I thought I was gonna be Janet Jackson, Whitney Houston, somebody, right?
Yeah.
So I've had to adjust, not uh, forbid or forsake any of my dreams and desires, but I've had to adjust them based on
Mhm.
my context, and so it is and it is true. It's not just an adjustment that I've made. It is actually true that I have been able to make as much, if not more, impact because I've been able to have real conversations with
Mhm.
real women,
Mhm.
in a real, more deep context
Mhm.
than this broad, just stroke of audiences of hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands. And so it really does help me to encourage myself that I'm changing the world
Yeah.
one woman at a time,
One at a
one
time.
circle at a time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I love that. I love that because that's essentially that's what it's really all about,
Mhm.
and just understanding that we make impact in one conversation. We can impact one person, one conversation, and that can grow into, a whole lot of women. But just focus
Yeah.
on one. Hmm.
Yeah. So I think that's what it is for me. If we had to kind of take away something from this deep dive, because I ask myself, in our everyday lives and in our passion work, the stuff that we feel purpose to do, as you've talked about, how
Hmm.
can we create small but powerful experiences for ourselves and those around us? And I just heard you say kind of make every conversation count, make every moment and interaction count. You never know what changes as a result of that connection that you just made.
Absolutely.
Yeah, please say
Absolutely.
more. Say more.
I was just gonna say, when I think about, we don't, when you said you never know how that one conversation can impact somebody's life, there are people who remember things that I have shared with them from years back. I don't even remember all the
Mhm.
things that I shared, but they have held on to our conversation and how impactful it was. And so it's like, man, and I think about people that I've had conversations with that has really poured into me, and I hold on to those words and that I can apply to my life to this day. So you just never know how one encounter with someone can change their whole lives. So yeah. What
So
is it?
good.
Despise the small beginnings. Is that
Do
what it's called?
not despise
Mhm.
small beginnings. Yep.
Yeah.
Don't
Mhm.
despise small beginnings. And
Mhm.
that if anything, if you don't take anything else away, like where you are is where you're supposed to be.
Mhm.
And no matter what mistakes, no matter what setbacks have brought you to this moment, this is a moment. It is a real moment. And in this moment, you have opportunities to impact your life and the lives of those around you. We all have
Mhm.
that opportunity.
Yeah.
Yep.
Love
Yep.
it. Yeah.
Yay. We talked about small size matters. It's just
Only in this
small.
context. Yeah.
Only in this. Yep. So thank y'all for indulging my silliness. I really appreciate it. This was a good deep dive. I needed to kind of process, that I've been on that journey of appreciating
Mhm.
more.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, what's smaller and not necessarily bigger. Bigger
Mhm.
is not necessarily better. All
Mm-mm.
right, here we go. So that was our deep dive. And we are about to have, I think, some fun with putting myself in her shoes.
Okay.
So this is gonna be interesting. I want to see because I think I have some friends, maybe some sister girlfriends in my circle that I need to learn a lesson from about this one. So
Okay.
because I would be this person. I just want to say I would be the one inviting y'all. So this is a scenario and I want to get your take on it, Shavon. I want to get you all's take on it in our audience. So, Donna is a luxury girl. I
Okay.
mean, she loves all the things name brand. She
Mm.
likes being pampered and catered to. She likes the high-end spas and she has expensive tastes. She is a self-proclaimed hotel snob, right? I
Mhm.
mean, 5-star preferably, 4-star maybe, right? She is not a snob herself. She just really likes nice things. So we're not talking
Mhm.
about Donna. We're talking about her preferences and her tastes.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
On the contrary, she's a very sweet person. She's versus what she really likes. She's a sweet person and very giving. She just likes what she likes.
Mhm.
So her girlfriend Bettina, I mean Matina, me, because I would so do this,
Yeah.
knows this about her friend, but wants to expose her to something different.
Oh
So
boy.
I have not done this though, but I was okay. So she plans a trip for her and their other friends, their other girlfriends, and the trip can best be described as roughing it.
Uh,
Okay,
uh.
they will be in a cabin, living in a rustic, outdoorsy type place where
Hmm.
they will need DEET. They will need some spray, some off. They will be cooking their own food and lots of active, sweat inducing activities, hiking and exercise and walking. And if you are Donna, luxury girl, what do you do after Bettina invites you? And if you are Bettina, what were you thinking? And how do you respond to whatever Donna decides to do?
Let me tell you what, I'm Donna on a certain level. So I'm
Okay.
not I don't need luxury everything, but when it
Mhm.
comes to accommodations,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
need to feel a certain kind of way, and there are certain things I don't wanna deal with, like
Mhm.
bugs and roughing it. So, I'll just be honest, like, Bettina, look, girl, you know I don't like to be outside. I don't like bugs. I'm not gonna have a good time. So,
Mhm.
I don't desire to experience that. Like, we can
Mhm.
be friends that don't travel like that together. Like, I don't have to
Mhm.
go on all the trips. I love that you want me to experience another side of life, but I don't want to. I am comfortable in my lush plush hotel. I will stay in the hotel and I see y'all. We can hang out after y'all finish
I'll
roughing
meet
it.
y'all there.
I'll meet y'all there and I'll be over here, but I'm not gonna be happy. I'm gonna be complaining
Mhm.
the whole time. I'm gonna be irritated, and whatever experience you thought you were gonna get from me being there with you and exposing me to this, it's not gonna happen. So let's just spare each other and not do it. I'm not, I'm not going. I'm not spending my money to do that.
Get
Um,
somebody else to do
Get
it.
somebody else to do it. I'm not their friend. So if I am if I am Bettina, it would probably just be me wanting to do something different and have an experience with my friends that's different from what we normally do. And I would honestly just have to respect whatever Donna wants to do because if I'm her friend, I know Donna don't want to do this in real life. Like what?
Mhm.
So I can't get offended by the fact that Donna doesn't want to do this. So I can
Mhm.
extend the invite if she doesn't want to go. That's fine. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Very good. Very good. Okay. So I've already said I am Bettina.
Okay. Yes. Yes,
I
you
would
are.
totally put this out there only because not only do I love outdoorsy stuff, but I would want I just think this is what I'm thinking. If I'm Bettina, I'm answering the last question first. I'm
Mhm.
thinking, you don't even know. You are gonna love this. You
Mhm.
don't understand how much you're gonna appreciate nature and outdoors and this. I'm trying to help you appreciate something you never would do for yourself.
Mm.
And that's my thinking.
Mm. You see my face like,
And what I love about you and my sister girlfriends is you will do that in a heartbeat and be like,
Yeah,
"Mm-mm, I'm not going. I'll
we're
see you on
doing
the
it.
next one."
Yeah. Nothing in me feels moved. You feel so passionate about it. I love that for you, but no.
Mm-mm. And then when I get back, so you have a good time. Oh,
Right.
that is awesome.
That's
Okay,
so
so if I am Donna and I am the luxury girl,
mhm.
if I am Donna and I am the luxury girl, I would try it at least once. I would.
Okay.
I would try it at
Mhm.
least once so that I can tell you with a surety. And maybe I've done it. Maybe I've done it before or some level, and maybe I got bit by something or whatever, and I
Mhm.
now I have some extra stuff to tell you. In addition to I just like what I like.
Mhm.
But I would try it at least once, and then I would
Mhm.
tell you I will never do this with you again. I love you, and I will
Right.
do other things with you, but I will never do this with you again.
Mhm.
So, so that's how I would handle it if I were Donna. So
Oh,
I won't be springing a trip on you. I promise.
thank you, because I don't want to have to tell you no, but I will.
I
Yeah.
know you. I don't want to have to, but I will. So good. So we want to know what y'all would do if you were Donna and if you were Martina Bettina. If you were what would you do if you are you a hotel snob? Are you the luxury girl? And if you are, it's okay. It's just you. It's
Mhm.
your preference. Let us
Yep.
know what you would do. And if you are Tina, if you are, don't make me feel by myself. Somebody holler at your girl and say, yes, we like roughing it too. Tell me. So I'm not by myself. Speakpipe.com/, real women, real talk. That was fun, sister.
That was fun. I
Thank you
wanna
for
know
being
what our other sisters would do. Yeah, that's so funny.
listen. We're gonna have to pose the scenario at the next
Uh-huh.
get together. This has been fun. Thank y'all so much. We are now at our last segment, and our last segment gives us this opportunity to just get a spiritual nugget, a takeaway, a thought, something that may have derived from our conversation, or it may just be something that has come up for us. And I'm wondering, sister, if anything has come up for you that you want to share.
Um, as it relates to all three of the segments, what's coming up for me is know thyself. Know thyself. So
Mhm,
whether you like motion in the ocean or
mhm,
size matters, whether you
mhm.
want to be in a large setting or a small setting, whether you are the glamping type or you want to rough it, whatever it is, know thyself and don't be afraid to be thyself.
Mm, 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 mm.
Yeah. So that's what I would offer.
That is, if I had a mic, know thyself and don't
Yeah.
be afraid to be thyself.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yes. I'm
Hmm.
not adding nothing to it, not taking nothing from it. I love that. Y'all, this has been so fun. I've been smiling
Yes.
the whole time.
Yes. Yes.
So share this with someone, please. Why don't you let someone know today that we drop every Tuesday? We would love for you to help our audience grow. We would love to hear from you. And so reach out to us at speakpipe.com/real women real talk. But also just check us out. Go to realwomenrock.org. Check us out. And tune in to a virtual circle just to tell yourself you deserve a little bit more of this goodness, and maybe you get to speak up live in our live circles or in our virtual circles. We would love to hear from you. Like, follow, and share everywhere you find us. We look forward to seeing you in the next episode. We are Real Women.
And real women talk.
Yeah, we do, girl. See y'all
That's what.
later.
Bye, y'all.
Bye bye.